2025 Premier League champions. I said if we win today, I will start celebrating the league and we will do a month's long of partying on this channel. And I'm a man of my word. I won't go back on what I said. Look, it wasn't the best performance again. Another scrappy game. Another dreadful performance. But does it matter? Does it really matter when we get the result of the line? In long term, yes, we can look at performance and say they definitely need improvements this summer. But in terms of this season, in terms of Premier League title, it should be done now. It's absolutely done now for me. 13 points clear, six games left, and welcome to Talking Reds. Welcome to Party Central right now. We are going to have a 1 month celebration of Liverpool Football Club winning the Premier League title. I say 1 month, maybe 2 months, because we'll win it next month officially. Lift the Premier League title next month officially, potentially, and we'll get the whole summer of celebrating. Yes, welcome to Talking Reds, everyone. If you are live, get your comments in. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and get your comments in as well. What are your thoughts on today's game? What are your thoughts on the season as a whole? How are you feeling, Reds? How are we feeling? Champions of England. Not officially, but I'm going to say it now as unofficial celebration here right now. Champions of England, Liverpool Football Club, 2025. Wow, it was a dreadful game, wasn't it? First half, controlled the game very, very well. Didn't really create much in the first half, really. Few moments. I think it was a moments game today. Mohamed Salah were just, especially that first half. Mohamed Salah felt sorry for that young fullback against Mohamed Salah. He had a torrid time. It was playing for fun with Salah. It seemed like I had a lot of weight off his shoulders. Especially the first half of Mohamed Salah, he had a lot of weight off his shoulders, and he could tell that the contract might have been weighing him down a little bit because he played with a little bit of freedom today. Played with a little bit of cockiness, about Salah today, and we haven't seen that in previous weeks, especially before he signed his contract. We haven't seen that Mohamed Salah. Today we saw that Mohamed Salah. The first touches that he had, a couple of them in like a space of 5 minutes, just unbelievable. Let's talk about the goal, though. The goal was just absolutely sensational. The touch, the way to get around the player, the pass outside of the foot, skidded through to Diaz. And Diaz absolutely deserved that first goal in the first half. Diaz was probably the bright spark in the first half, apart from Mohamed Salah with his little creativity in his moments. But Diaz was the one that was really driving at players, the one really testing the keeper early on. I thought Diaz was first half an hour to 40 minutes. Diaz was sensational, and that's the Luis Diaz we're used to seeing. That's the Luis Diaz we want to see. We just don't see it often enough. Again today, plays fantastic. I was unhappy with Arne Slot last weekend against Fulham not starting Diaz after a man of match performance. Finally started Diaz today, and he absolutely got the goal that deserved early on, 18 minutes in. But yeah, it was other than that, apart from that, when we got the Diaz goal, we sort of controlled the game first half. Wasn't incredible. I thought it was quite drab. I thought, second half, maybe Slot gets into him second half. He seems to get into him at half time usually, but second half again, it was even worse. It got worse. The Anfield crowd. And one thing I want to say about the Anfield crowd, actually, what the fuck was that today from Anfield? Honestly, I honestly thought I was watching snooker at some point. I thought switched on to snooker. It was that quiet. It literally deafening. Even Carragher kept picking it up, saying you can hear a pin drop. And it was that bad. It was that bad, and it's madness how we're literally 2 wins away from the Premier League title, and that's what Anfield is. That's what Anfield is like. I think it's an absolute joke that it's like that. That place should be bouncing, absolutely bouncing, and that says a lot about where the club's going in terms of who goes to the games and who's amongst those tickets when they get put out, because they're not getting fans in there that are wanting to sing, that are wanting to feel the energy, that I feel I got my energy in front of my TV. I wish I could go get a ticket and go to Anfield, because I won't be stopped singing from minute one. But yeah, it is a big concern for me going forward in terms of the whole. I think the whole broad things, broadening of the aspect of Anfield. Anfield is meant to be known for its atmosphere. Anfield is meant to be. It's the place where teams come and they crumble under the atmosphere. And if we're losing the atmosphere, we're losing a big integral part of us on the pitch. We're losing a big integral part of the club itself. The club itself is built on those fans. The club itself is built on the atmosphere. And when we're losing it because we're greedy as a club, we're greedy just selling tickets to anyone that wants to go in there and tourists, then it's simply not good enough. It really isn't good enough. Anyone that wants to go to Anfield, I don't care where part in the world you come from. You go to Anfield, you're there for one reason only, not to take videos, TikTok, whatever. You're there to fucking enjoy that football and get behind them. And that's what I didn't hear today from Liverpool, from Anfield. And I don't know if anyone else watched it from home. Were you in the ground? If you was in the ground, let me know if you thought something different or you heard something different. But on TV, it was dead. I honestly thought I was watching snooker. I thought I switched it off accidentally at some point. I even checked. I checked to see if I still got it on. And the fact that Jamie Carragher kept mentioning it as well, I think he felt it as well. And he's at the game as well, so he knows. He can see himself, and he can hear himself how dead Anfield was. It was a big disappointment. But the football didn't help either. The football was dreadful most part of it. And it got us thinking now, and I'm going to go on to winning the game and also winning the Premier League. This is going to be a month or 2 months of celebrations on this channel of winning the Premier League. But regarding the game itself, it was fucking dreadful. The football was dreadful, and it got into the conversation in our Talking Reds chat that Arne Slott's football, we talk about Klopp's football. It's been hard to adjust from Klopp's football to Arne Slott's football when it's quite similar in terms of build up and things like that. But it's just the tempo is just boring. It's just slow. It's really, really tedious to watch. At times you're thinking, come on, just pick it up a little bit. And when we saw the pickup, this is what pisses me off. Right, we can do it. When West Ham scored, we saw an urgency in Liverpool. We saw a little bit of a tempo shift. Even if those first few minutes, we got the goal off of it, 3 minutes later from West Ham scoring. But it shouldn't take a goal from West Ham to fucking wake everyone up and say, come on, let's play some football here. Let's get some momentum. Let's get some tempo. That it shouldn't have to come to a West Ham goal for that to happen. 86 minutes into the game, we didn't see any tempo. We didn't see any sort of like fast movements, fast 1-2 players or anything like that. We saw a couple of 1-2s tried to happen between, I think it was Gravenberch and Salah had a couple, and then I think Jota and Salah had a try, and Jota misplaced his pass. But other than that, it was like slow 1-2s. They were not intricate. They were not quick. There were no quick tempo at all in the game. And I don't know about you guys, but I was getting fucking bored. And I never get bored watching Liverpool, and it has been like that for the majority of this season under Arne Slot. And I hope it's personnel more than Arne Slot's tactics, because next season Arne Slot's tactics do need to just kick up the fucking ass a little bit. His tactics are brilliant in terms of getting results and getting wins, and exactly what's happened this season. We are getting the results. It's fantastic because we're going to win the Premier League title. And Arne Slot has absolutely played the biggest part of all that. His tactics have set up us to be hard to defeat, hard to get on the counter attack, hard to really get anything out of. And that's worked. It's worked as results, but that football needs to improve massively. It really does. That football needs to improve massively. And we do need to address certain situations, because certain areas. Because last week when I saw the report of Liverpool not looking at midfield as a priority, fuck off. Don't give me this shit anymore about not looking at midfield as a priority. If you fucking watch football, if you watch that game, and been watching Liverpool the last 2 months with your football brain on, if you've got a football brain, anyone can see, including Stevie Wonder himself, anyone can see that we need a couple of midfielders, at least one midfielder, 2 I'd say. A DM is absolutely needed. Gravenberch is not a DM. He's not a DM. And now he's been sensational this season. I want to see, I won't drop Gravenberch, I'm just moving forward. I'm moving to the 8th position, I moved Maka to 10. But I don't want to see next season's Gravenberch as the main 6 and then that's it, run him into the ground again. If you're going to have him as a 6, swap him out, rotate him with someone. Someone needs to be a 6, and not Endo either. We need a world-class 6. And Endo's good at what he does, but we need a world-class 6 there. We need someone that can play alongside Gravenberch or someone that can rotate with Gravenberch. We can't do the same again with that midfield next season, run them into the ground. I'm not having this. They don't see midfield as priority. Or they're not going to buy. I know for that. I've already set myself up. They're not going to buy midfield because what they're doing is again sell to buy. We'll sell Nunes, sell Diaz, or sell Jota, sell Nunes, whatever. That money will pay for a left back. It'll pay for a striker, and then we'll run out of money. That's it. We're done. That's our transfer. That's our transfer window. And I saw people complain about the defence online. I mentioned it, actually. I tweeted it out. So a lot of people complain about defence. Yes, the defence is at times crumbling sometimes. Canate's been a bit poor in the last couple of games. Robertson is fucking shit now. I hate to watch it. I hate watching Robertson now when he come on. Tsimikas isn't much better. Bradley was good today. I thought Bradley was best defender today. I thought Virgil had an off game, really. Wasn't incredible, but he came up with the winner in the end, so it didn't really matter. But the midfield was ran through like not even knife through butter. It was like knife through water. At least butter gives some sort of give back, a little bit of friction, some sort of give back. It was like a knife through water. That midfield was ran by constantly, and this is by the way, this is West Ham, right? Who are fourth bottom. That second half, West Ham outplayed us. That midfield out-battled our midfield, outplayed our midfield. The fourth bottom from the league table. Yes, I think the West Ham side that should be much higher. Definitely much. There should be the potential to be a top half. They're not. I don't think they're worse than Man United or Tottenham from what I've seen of West Ham. They've got some very good players like Kudus, Paqueta, Ward-Prowse. They've got some very good players, Bowen, but they absolutely outplayed Liverpool that second half, and that midfield especially went through that midfield, and it is a big. It should be an eye opener. I don't know if people think that midfield is not a problem. They must not know football. They must not have ever kicked a football. They can't have. They can't have. I can't be having. There's no way they've kicked a football in their life. Because it's quite clear to me that midfield needs improving. And we clearly need a number 6. We need someone alongside. For me, I'd buy someone to play alongside Gravenberch, like a Stiller, like a Zubimendi, play alongside Gravenberch, and I'd push Maka forward into 10. That's what I'd do. I'm not the coach. I think Arne Slot will see this as well. The reason why he wants to do Mendy is because he wants to, although they are seeing Gravenberch do well this season in 6, he's still not a 6. He's not. We need someone that can sit there and just control the game from that area, and then Gravenberch can do his forward runs and be the Gravenberch that he can be. Because in the last few months, Gravenberch hasn't been that player. And he has done fantastically well this season. He's done more than enough this season to earn respect of Liverpool fans because he's been one of our best players. And he alone has made Liverpool get away with not getting a 6 last season. But I'm fucking sick of just going, oh, got away with it. I don't want that getting away with it anymore. Fucking go and sort these issues out. Go sort these issues out. Go get a left back. Go get a CDM. Go get a striker. If a winger goes, go get a winger. Don't leave a fucking gap short or a player short constantly. I'm sick of shite anymore. I'm sick of leaving gaps and leaving players short constantly. It's fucking boring. This season we've really got away with it in terms of that because of Arsenal and Man City dropping off massively, and we've done brilliantly. And Gravenberch has done exceptional. If Gravenberch wasn't that good of a player and couldn't readjust his game and drop into that 6, especially early on in the season where he was fantastic, if he couldn't do that, we'd be in serious trouble this year. He's lucky that he's that good of a player and he can do that. But I don't want that to be the long-term thing. I don't want Gravenberch to be there for the long-term thing. I want Gravenberch to be in his position. And he said that in an interview. He said, "What are you?" He got asked, "What are you?" in an interview. He said, "I've been playing 6 this year. It's a new thing, but I am, and I do like it an 8." That's what he said in an interview. And that's why I want to see Gravenberch next season. Stop this bullshitting around, gaslighting, and saying, "Oh, we don't need a midfielder because our Gravenberch has played well." Bollocks. Watch that game today. Watch the games over the last few months. PSG outplayed. Newcastle outmuscled. Today outplayed by West Ham in that midfield. Fulham outplayed. We're not going to constantly. We're not going to constantly charge for trophies with a midfield getting outplayed constantly or outfought. It doesn't work like that. We need some help in that midfield. Curtis Jones didn't really do much on the pitch. He doesn't trust Endo. Endo does a job when he comes on at the end. Endo's worth every penny that he bought him for, because he does do a job when he comes on. But we still need that world-class six, and we still need that. We need a little bit of more energy in that midfield. We need a midfield that can. We've got Szoboszlai, but we need another player like Szoboszlai that can play 8 or 10, that can swap around. Because obviously you don't trust Elliott. Elliott's not physical enough for Arne Slot's midfield, it seems. I think he wants Szoboszlai is a different kind of number 10. We're talking about number 10s actually in the chat as well. It's a different kind of number 10 in Szoboszlai. He's not a usual number 10. And number 10 for me is like really creative, that really can open up games, and also get into the box themselves, like a Coutinho. That's where I see Maka as a 10. Maka gets forward so many times, gets into the box sometimes. That's why he gets on the end of headers, on the end of crosses. But he also can be in the pockets of that number 10 position and create things. Maka is perfect for that. I would prefer Szoboszlai at number 8 for me, just box to box, the energy that he gives. But then Szoboszlai also needs a proper DM next to him, I think, if he's playing that role. And again, we're going to go into summer, and I know I've already said, look, I think we're going to get 2 signings. That's what I think we're going to get. Maybe 3, depending if we sell someone. Because we probably should get a striker. We've got to get a striker. We're definitely getting a left back. I'm absolutely certain we're getting a left back, and I'm absolutely certain it's going to be Kerkez. I think that's written on the wall for Kerkez. Then we'll also look at left back. We'll look at centre back, right back, winger, and DM's going to be forgotten again. Midfield's going to be forgotten again, and games like this where they run through like that is going to happen time and time again next season. It is. It really is. And we can't get away with it next season. If Man City improve, if Arsenal improve, we won't get away with that next season. It's fine this season when we're clear of Arsenal, and Arsenal, the only time Arsenal could put pressure on is they fucking draw to Brentford or lose to West Ham. That's what's chasing us. And I want this to be a positive thing, but I'm going to be absolutely honest on here all the time with you guys. I'm always going to be honest with you guys. And that's one thing I'll never not be, is honest. And if something pissed me off, I'll tell you that it's pissed me off. And something that I think needs calling out, I'll call it out on here. If there's something that needs improving, I'll say it needs improving. I'm not blind to this thing, because I've said it over the past. I've said it. I don't know if everyone's watched me on LSU Transfer when I've been in the past. When I said we needed a midfield 2 years ago, 3 years ago, before we got the new midfield, I said we needed some midfielders, and no one listened. I got into arguments over it. Arguments. Saying, what do you mean we need midfield? The midfield's fine. I said, no, it's not. It's really not. And then as the season went on, Henderson was shit. Fabinho dropped off a cliff. Everyone else was shit. And they all apologised to me in the end. Oh yeah, you were right. Do apologise for the argument and stuff. It's like, did you watch the actual game? It was quite clear we needed a midfielder. We didn't buy a midfielder for 5 years. And Thiago was the only midfielder we bought in that time. And people say, well, look how good we did. We bought all that midfield in one summer. Well, we shouldn't have to buy a whole midfield in one summer. It doesn't work like that. And the only reason why we bought a whole midfield in one summer is because we let a whole midfield go in one summer. Everyone went that summer. We had no choice but to replace them. These midfields should have been bought over the time and proactively come in instead of watching our team crumble. And this is going to happen again. It's going to happen again. We're going to play the same fucking midfield next season, and it's going to all crumble away. Because they've seen this season how much it's crumbling. We've seen this season how knackered they are, how tired they look. And when Man City are on it, or if they come back, Arsenal will be better next season. Arsenal will certainly be better next season, because they'll buy a striker for number 1. And they'll buy someone creative. They need someone creative, and they need a striker, because they're a very, very good outfit without that. Imagine Arsenal with a striker and someone a bit more creative alongside Odegaard. There'd be a big, big force next season. And I think Man City will come back as well, because they're starting to show a little bit more form now. Now they've got signings over the door. Now, not really pushed out like Marmoush, brilliant signing. I love Marmoush at Liverpool. Because we can't stand still. We can't stand still again. We can't do that again. And all these journalists saying we're big summer, big summer. I'm fucking stop talking. Just stop it. Stop it. Stop gaslighting. Stop gaslighting the fans. We know he's not going to be a big summer. So big summer in terms of like we're going to let Red Nunes and we're going to attack. Hopefully, we're going to get a striker and get a thing and sorting the contracts out as part of that as well. But the contracts being sorted as well are going to take a big dent on the transfer budget. It shouldn't, but it will. That's the way FSG work. They'll say, "Well, you wanted Van Dijk and Salah, didn't you? What more do you want?" It doesn't work like that. Salah and Van Dijk should have been done ages ago. I'm glad you have done it, and I'll always praise you for doing them. And I'm glad you've changed your ways a little bit in terms of the wage that you're offering them. We needed that to keep them. But this summer is a massive summer for Liverpool in terms of you need to show some ambition now. Are you wanting to stand still again when we won the Premier League title before and the Champions League when we bought Van der Berg, Adrian and Harvey Elliott as a summer? Or are you wanting to go back to back? I'm not saying expect to go back to back. Are you wanting to try to go back to back? That's the question. Are you going to do all you can off the pitch to make sure we've got every chance of going back to back? Or challenging for the big trophies again next season? Because if that's the same midfield next season, running to the ground to the end of the season, there's no Champions League. There's no Champions League, and because we'll play like teams like Barcelona and PSG that'll run us ragged when they're knackered like that. We'll play teams like that in Champions League. We won't win Champions League with that midfield if it's the same midfield every single season and they ran into the ground again. We won't win Champions League. And we can't rely on getting a big, healthy lead in the Premier League again and hoping this Arsenal side is chasing us, because that's not going to happen either. We need to address every single issue this summer. We've got a left-back issue, address it. If Trent goes, get another right-back to challenge Bradley. We need a striker. If Diaz goes, we replace him at left wing. And we need a DM. We need a DM. And we also need a centre-back. There's a few things we need. We're not going to address all these things. And this is why everyone has a problem with FSG. They do the bare minimum. They do the bare minimum. As long as they get top four, they're absolutely fine. We have won this season and we're celebrating. I'm already said, look, on this channel, we're doing a month, 2 months of celebrations. Right, starting right now. We've won the league. Let's celebrate. But let's be real on what we need and what we don't need. Let's be real and actually address every issue we've got now. If we want to be serious next season about the Champions League as well, especially Champions League, because Champions League is when you play like the PSG, who've got an unreal midfield. When you play like Real Madrid, when you play Barcelona. These are the teams that you've got to beat, and we're not going to beat these teams with the midfield we've got that is being ran into the ground. Even if they were fully fit, they still might not be good enough. But when they ran into the ground as well, we're not going to beat these teams in that latter stage of the tournament. That's why they need help. That's why they need some more recruitment. We need more competition for these places. Van Dijk has said it countless times. He said, look, we need some help. It's a long, long season. And the only help Arne Slot's got given off the pitch this time was Chiesa. And that's not really being help because he hadn't used him. I still think he's got a stipulation on his contract where if you play, I think you got to play 5 games, something like that, and you win the Premier League. Does he get they have to give it a bonus to Juventus for winning the Premier League? That's the only way I could think of with Chiesa. Or Arne Slot just doesn't like him. That's the only thing I can think of, because I know how FSG work. They'll save every little penny they can in that. So yeah, the second half, poor. I think I'll tell you one thing though. Kudus is a player. I know they were talking about £80 million, weren't they, for Kudus last summer or the summer before. I remember writing an article on it. I did a stream on it, I think, actually. £80 million it was rumoured for Kudus. But I'll tell you one thing with Kudus, he's a match winner and he will come up with something from nothing. You know, like Salah does, he'll come up with something from nothing. Kudus does exactly the same, and he does that a few times today, actually. The little chip in the first half where he tried dinking it of Alisson. By the way, that pass from Wan-Bissaka was class. The original pass from Wan-Bissaka on the right, I think it was Bowen that went through, hit the keeper. And then Kudus, just a little moment of magic. Almost went in, brilliant save from Alisson. Alisson Becker, by the way. Alisson fucking Becker, by the way. Anyone that's saying, oh, let's cash in on him. Honestly, you don't know. You don't have a clue. You haven't have a clue. Alisson Becker is one of our most important players. We cannot let this guy go. If Mamardashvili thinks he's coming in and getting number one, he's got another thing coming. This guy is incredible. This guy's been out for concussion, comes back and puts in a performance like that. I think actually, I saw something online actually. Andy Slot actually said that's his best performance this season. He must have been asleep in the PSG game, like, but it was a good performance. It's not his best performance of the season though. The PSG game was something else. I'm guessing Andy Slot slept in that game if he thought that. Again, here we go. David Ornstein. It's going to be a really busy subject. Has just begun. Cheers, David. And David Ornstein, by the way, is very close to FSG, so be careful what comes out of his mouth. Be very careful what comes out of his mouth. He'll only push the positive stuff that'll make the club look better. And if you believe it, it's up to you. But I don't believe anything coming out of David Ornstein's mouth anymore in terms of, especially a busy summer. He must have been fucking asleep. So I was going over what Arne Slot said over in the games after. The reason why Darren Núñez, we were on about Darren Núñez, weren't we, before on the match preview? I was saying he must have been dropped for being shit or things. Now Louis Steele does come out with why he's not, and Louis Steele has actually come out after the game. Darren Núñez didn't feel well yesterday. That's why he wasn't in the squad today. Arne Slot said Alisson probably had his best game of the season today. Maybe in the Premier League, Anna. Maybe in the Premier League. Definitely not altogether. The competition has never been as strong this season. We have to still win 2 games. In the meantime, a contract extension could happen, but our focus is still on Leicester City. So Arne Slot all but confirming there, Virgil van Dijk is going to happen in the meantime. That means between now and Leicester City next week. And I said it'll be done Monday, Tuesday, and I expect that as well. And Salah and Van Dijk were together in the interview after the game. And Salah actually said, hopefully he signs as well, with Virgil next to him. He said, hopefully. And they started laughing. So I think it pretty much cements that Virgil van Dijk is going to get done this week. I presume Monday or Tuesday. If you are live watching us, get your comments in on the game. What do you think of the performances? Who stood out for you guys in today's game? Who also worries you? What positions do we need to look at in the summer? I think that midfield absolutely worries me right now, going forward. Just looking at anything else that Arne Slot said. 2 more wins. And it's what he said earlier, actually. It made me laugh. This 2 more wins on the first 32 games has shown us every team it's tough. The competition has never been as strong as this season. That's what he said, but my focus on Leicester. Okay. So, yeah, we have got Leicester away. I said Ipswich earlier, didn't I? I think it's Arsenal's got Ipswich. We've got Leicester away. 1 second. So I'm just going to get the league table up now. So I think it is 13 points in it. It's 13 points difference. Arsenal's got an easy game next season. Next season, they've got Ipswich away. Yeah, we've got Leicester away, aren't we? Is that Sunday? Yes, yeah, so Sunday R4 kick off next weekend, Leicester, and then we have up to Tottenham, where we can win the Premier League title. We can also win it next week. If Arsenal drop points against, if they lose against Ipswich away earlier on in the day on Sunday, and we beat Leicester, we've won the Premier League title. But if Arsenal don't drop points to win the game, which is expected, Liverpool beat Leicester. All Liverpool have to do then is beat Tottenham at home the week after to win the Premier League title on the 27th of April, which is a Sunday, isn't it? So it's a Sunday half-hour kickoff. So we've got 2 Sunday kickoffs again coming up, both half-hour this time, not 2 o'clocks. And then we will get a guard of honour on the following Sunday against Chelsea away. And then we will hopefully get a guard of honour for our next home game on the Sunday again. So we've got 4 games in a row on Sunday at 4:30, and it is against Arsenal. So we will have a guard of honour away at Chelsea, and we will have a guard of honour at home against Arsenal if we win our next 2 games. How beautiful would that be? How beautiful would that be? Arsenal giving us a guard of honour. That would break the internet. I'm absolutely certain that would break the internet, and I'm sure Arsenal fans will be. It's depending on what they're doing in the Champions League. I don't think that bothered them, because obviously they did well in the Champions League against Real Madrid. Yeah, it's definitely a chance for Liverpool to just bring some sort of like football justice to some Arsenal fans, because some Arsenal fans do need pegging down a little bit. You got your Bavs, you got your Edward Hagen, whatever his name is on Twitter. These people, I'll call them out. I don't give a shit. These people need humbling big time. It's okay. At least we're not 7 points behind Man City. At least it's 7 points behind Liverpool. Well, guess what, guys? Fuck off. Give us that guide one. I want all the Arsenal fans to stand up as well. We do have people like Hooks and stuff, humble Arsenal fan. Cecil's quite humble himself, we're gonna get Cecil on back on here from AFTV. He's very humble about it, but a lot of there's a very a loud few that are online that are not humble in the Arsenal fan base, and we certainly love to humble them when we do get that guard of honour from them. We've just got to win the next two games. But yeah, Virgil stepping up for the winner. The goal that West Ham scored was just fucking shit, wasn't it? I don't know what Quanta were doing. Quanta, I don't know what's happened to Quanta, man. I don't know what's happened to Quanta. Last season, he showed absolute promise of being a class centre back to have in the background and have someone to have so much potential. A game against Ipswich in the first game, brought off by Anasol at half time, and he's just not been the same this season. He's had one or two decent games when he has played, but today again, left his man, got beat easily, and then Robertson, I don't know what the fuck Robertson were doing. Robertson needs to, with that finish Robertson did, he needs to train Nunes how to finish. That was a beautiful finish in the bottom corner, by the way, from Robertson. At that time, though, again, but it's weird because I'll tell you why. If Arsenal won yesterday and that Robertson goal went in, that own goal, I'd have been fucking fuming. I was fuming at the thing, but it's more like it's a weird feeling. I was fuming at the thing happening. I was fuming the whole game because we played shit again. But it was like, it doesn't really matter in the bigger scheme of things. Even if we drew, it didn't really. I want to win next week and the week after and get that guard of honour from those two. I'd like to win it early and let's celebrate then and let's relax. But in the bigger scheme of things, even if we drew, it didn't really matter because Arsenal's not doing anything anyway. They were home to Brentford and could beat them. But yeah, I think it pissed me off more. So the fact that we responded to it, and it took a West Ham goal in the 86th minute just to play it with a bit of urgency, with a bit of tempo. And we didn't have that tempo all game until the 86th minute when we conceded. So where that tempo been? So we can do it. We're just not doing it. I hope Arneslot changes it up a little bit in terms of the tempo. Maybe it's just the players that he don't trust. I don't know. Does he want his ball player as a 6 and then build up tempo from there? I don't know. I hope next season we see better football. But if you're going to ask me right now, would I rather see better football and lose the penalty title next season? No. I'd rather win the penalty title. And I'm feeling that now. With so many games this season that we've won games and think, it doesn't matter how we played. And it does matter how we play sometimes, because sometimes it can't be sustainable and other teams improve. Because we haven't got really anyone chasing us. We have been getting away with that poor performance and getting over the line with wins sometimes as well. So right now, I'd rather win the penalty title, but I do want to see improvements next season in terms of the way we're playing. I do. I am slightly missing that young club football. Just for sheer edge of the seat stuff, just brilliant football. These players can do the brilliant football, which haven't been seeing it as much this season. We saw much better football under Jurgen Klopp, but Arneslot is getting results, and Arneslot has been sensational, absolutely sensational. It's proven to me that he can win many trophies if he's backed enough. I really do think that. If you are watching live, make sure you do like this video, subscribe to the channel as well, get notification bells on as well, because we will be getting content out every single day. If you're also live, get your comments in. What are your thoughts on today's game? What is there anything worrying you? Like myself, I think the midfield worrying me. Also, we need strikers. Jota was shit again. In fact, I might go for the whole performances actually individually, because Alisson Becker. The players stood out for me today. Luis Diaz first half, certainly. Mohamed Salah certainly first half. Mohamed Salah got man of the match. I did particularly agree with that because I thought second half he sort of tailed off a little bit. I think the whole team tailed off second half and they got brought off quite early. I thought McAllister was sensational most of the game. I thought if anyone out of that midfield played well was McAllister. Alisson Becker was sensational again today. I thought Conor Bradley were very, very good. Best out of the defenders for me. Konate and Van Dijk was a bit off it, especially Konate been off it a couple of times now in the last few weeks. Van Dijk wasn't really himself. He was all right on the ball. Brilliant, by the way. Some of his passing was sensational. The long field passing, sensational. And then the goal was just. And I'm gutted actually. I'm really, really gutted because my mate messaged me before the match saying he's going to do. Have you got any tips for the Liverpool game? And I said, right, I don't want to give you tips in case it comes out. I'll be crying if it does come up. So I said, I'll give you one. I said, Virgil Van Dijk shot on target, Virgil Van Dijk goal. He only went and did it, didn't he? He only went and did it, didn't he, and won. I was happy for him, but I was gutted for myself. But I was happy that Virgil scored anyway to get the winner. But yeah, is what it is. I'll live it down, I'm sure. There's a lot of people not happy with the midfield as well online. But I've seen a lot of people just going for the defence more than midfield for me, and I'm very, very shocked. I'll see what Ansel says here. I think we were 6 or 7 minutes where I wasn't that composed. Scoring a goal in the final stages of the game and 7 minutes to go. I like referees who give a lot of extra time, especially if the other team is time wasting. But we did not do this for 1 second, and we're the 7 minutes extra. Hey, I thought that actually. And I thought the same yesterday in the Arsenal game. So I was live watching the Arsenal game. I said, I bet you it's 6 minutes. I don't know where you're going to get 6 minutes from, but I bet you 6 minutes. And 6 minutes came on. I said that live on here. Again, I didn't know where the 7 minutes came from. Not really happened. There was I think there might have been one injury for West Ham, and that was about it. Other than that, there was not really that happened. 2 goals. By the way, let me know what you think about Virgil van Dijk. I think it's been confirmed pretty much. Concrete evidence that he's going to stay. Arne Slot has said there's going to be hopefully a contract sorted between now and Leicester. Mohamed Salah was next to him and said hopefully we'll sign a contract. Him kissing the badge as well. I think it's absolutely. I think I have to sign there saying, look, I'm staying. It really is. I thought if I said it before the game, on match preview, I said I'm surprised that West Ham aren't playing a proper strikers. When Fulkrug came on, I thought he actually caused a little bit of havoc. This Fulkrug. Kudus was causing havoc all game. I thought Bowen's passing was brilliant, but his runs is just not a striker. He's not a striker. I thought that would be the case. But yeah, I think we should be, if we are going to look for a number 10 or a striker or someone that can play along across the front line, I think Kudus should be one that we should look at. Whether he costs 60, 70 million or not, he's a brilliant, brilliant player that we should be looking at. But yeah, we are 2 wins away, guys. 2 wins away from Premier League champions, and I've already said it. We are the Premier League champions, but officially we are 2 wins away. We've got Leicester away and Tottenham at home. They should be 2 wins. I say that they should be. Should doesn't come into Liverpool right now because we're playing really, really bad. We should have been much more dominant today, but we wasn't, and we somehow again got the win. But that's what we have been doing. Champions get the wins. Champions put the points on the board, and that's what we are, champions. Thank you everyone that has watched. Thank you everyone that is watching after, or if you're watching live, thank you everyone for watching. Like I said, get your comments in as well. Let me know your man of match. Let me know who worries you in terms of going into next year, and let me know how you're feeling about being Premier League champions, 2025 Premier League champions. Thank you for watching. Make sure you do smash that like, share, subscribe, do everything you can do to help us grow as a channel. Thank you everyone that has subscribed so far, that has liked, that has watched. I appreciate you all for doing that. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend, guys. Have a great week. And make sure you do turn notification bells on as well, because we're going to get content out every single day this week. Thank you.